And after touching $0 for the first time ever, oil prices on Tuesday recovered some lost ground from a historic crash.
On Tuesday, US oil started trading at $1.10 a barrel after it closed at minus $37.63 a barrel in New York on Monday. It was the first time ever in history that the price of US oil had turned negative, which meant that oil producers were paying buyers to take the commodity off their hands over fears that their capacity to store further supplies could run out by May. Demand for oil has all but dried up as lockdowns across the world have kept people inside. US oil firms have resorted to renting tankers and finding other options to store surplus supply. In the absence of demand, the oil supply is a source of concern, despite the OPEC and allies recently deciding to reduce output. The deal was expected to stabilize prices, which it failed to do. The low price could mean a respite for an oil-importing nation like India, but not immediately and also not to the extent that prices have fallen. India imports about 82% of its required crude, which accounts for over 20% of India's merchandise imports. The low oil prices are expected to turn the country's current account deficit, or the difference between inflow and outflow of foreign currency, positive. But for India, the lower prices will not mean an immediate fall in domestic prices, mainly because Asian currencies, including the rupee, are trading weaker against the US dollar. The rupee-dollar difference may offset gains from lower oil prices. India largely imports Brent crude from the OPEC bloc. Brent comes from the North Sea near Norway. So while it is the price of West Texas Intermediate crude that has fallen because of storage problems, the heart of the US pipeline network in Oklahoma, Brent prices continue to be stable in the current situation. Also, the most popular retailed oils in India, petrol, diesel and kerosene, are all refined oils that adds cost.
Well, today was probably one of the most historic days we've ever seen on the CME or NYMEX, with prices falling as low as minus 35, minus 40. Crude has never gone negative, and today we went negative in a major way. And again, this one I think is one of the most historic days since crude started trading back in the early 80s.
The market views the current situation of supply-demand imbalance, where there's too much supply. The market regards that as a temporary condition, but we haven't probably seen quite the bottom in oil yet. We think we're close, but we haven't quite seen it yet.